answers to the questions you ask. Can you hear a man's spirit in the flesh is a mask? You were written in the book of life, left with a task to exhale beauty in each breath that you have. Show me camera, you're the answers to the questions you ask. Can you hear a man's spirit in the flesh is a mask? You were written in the book of life, left with a task. Exhale beauty in each breath that you have. The misunderstood tales on the Gemini new moon. Mind controlled children that were hypnotized too soon. We don't miss out on this plane, live in a huge room. It's hypnotic like you tripped in a few shrooms. My lips to the newsroom, the wisdom removes gloom. Are you aware of what you're meant to create? The eternal narrative because it's still in the shape. Gotta keep your mind firm so the pillars won't break. Though they tired, hold the fire, keep the children awake. So desired, so admired, I am here to create. Most of liars thought flyers, gods appearing from space. In the mind we dwell, we rise and fell. It's time to tell the dying spell that's casted on your master. Royal magic, or you grab the soil, static coils in my head. Signal stronger, sigil draw. Lift your aura, hear your daughter's self-esteem where healthy means. I'm the definition, it's time for recognition. My mind has premonitions, collide with nepotism. Gears within gears provide the mechanism. And the holy clock is going, talk forever seems dead. Most my ancient ghosts spoken to the Elohim, don't say your dreams. They told me once, they said that you can get it if it's written. What your soul wants, you should pursue. When fools will laugh and look at you, I hope to pass these books to you. Hating heaven's tall, the impatient young and prayed and swung, the matrix never falls. Holy temple architecture, I am making better walls. Huge acoustic truth and music dancing in the halls of the land of loose. Expand your roots and chanting flutes. Man salutes the grand commute. I plan my boots awaken to it all. Believe in you, my pineals been waiting for your call. I hand them truth, they plan to shoot, but they ain't got the ball. So you carry, you're the answers to the questions you ask. Can you hear a man's spirit in the flesh is a mask? You were written in the book of life, left with a task to exhale beauty in each breath that you have. Show me camera, you're the answers to the questions you ask. Can you hear a man's spirit in the flesh is a mask? You were written in the book of life, left with a task. Exhale beauty in each breath that you have.
Right, people like God, welcome to another episode of Knowledge Radio, the place for knowledge one. This is your host, Knowledge One Alive, and we are here where romance and danger meets. Okay, we are right here. Okay, so if you want some romance and you want some danger, you came to the right place. Okay, because we have a phenomenal pinstress that is here who hypnotizes us with her beautiful stories and her tales with her pen. Okay, so she's dangerous with this pen when she's writing about romance. Okay, so not only is there romance and danger in the book, she is romantically dangerous with that pen. Okay, so it becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some, present to others, Her Majesty. Okay, Her Majesty is in the building, none other than the author of 50,000 books. She got about 50,000 of them, and she's still writing them. And the books is writing themselves, okay? Queen Mother Lisa Dodson, welcome to the platform. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
Hey, Knowledge, I'm fine, thank you. I appreciate you having me on tonight.
All right. I'm definitely glad that you are here. Okay. 50,000 books, okay? That's a lot of books to be writing.
That's a lot of pressure, Knowledge. I'm not going to lie.
They do that to me. They be like, "Oh, so you got 3,000 shows? So that means that you can do 10,000 more, right? Yeah, no problem, right? Yeah, you got it, you got it." I'd be like,
"You got it, you got it."
Mama say, I'm a Michael style. I said, that's what Michael Jackson was talking about when people start talking crazy to you. Just say, Mama say, Michael style. Okay?
I just want to be starting something.
Got to be starting something, right? Yes. So, in the lane, in the vein of starting something, what came to you? Who came to you? How did it come to you to say, I'm going to pick up this pen and be romantically dangerous? And how has that pen helped guide, shape, mold you throughout your writing life and life?
Well, writing is just something I've always done. It's something that I started when I was little. My sister tells me I taught myself how to read. So it's something that I've always done, but I didn't really start even remotely thinking about publishing anything until like the early 2000s. That's kind of when this whole journey began, actually.
Early 2000s. So this circa, what's happening? What's the sights and the sounds? Did the towers fall? What happened? Where, like, I need to know some stuff for some stuff now.
All right. So, how I got started writing was just by way of, well, there are no accidents in life. So, basically, I was a big fan of the 80s TV show Remington Steele. And I think I just dated
Ooh,
myself,
okay.
but
Hey, all right.
Remington
Remington
Steele.
Steele.
And so I found a couple of sites online back in the day before fan fiction was huge. I discovered a couple of sites that took those characters and they just made original stories from them using those characters. And I just fell in because I love the characters. So I just fell in love with those stories. And you know how we do. You think I could do that. And so I literally started writing my own stories centered on those characters. And I created a website, I put those stories up, and people in the community just love them. And they were just like, hey, these stories are great. When are you writing the next chapter and the next chapter and the next chapter? So that's kind of how I got unofficially started. I got out of the writing closet and just decided, hey, I think I can do this. Yeah, I can do this. And so how I got published was basically, again, you stumble across something on the internet, and I had discovered a writing convention, Romance Slam Jam, back in 2002. And so it was just a weekend long writers retreat that had authors there, published authors, aspiring authors, industry professionals. And so I decided last minute I wanted to go. And so I lived in Illinois at the time, was married, had two small kids, but everything just aligned for me to come and go to this convention. And so I went, and that is like keys to the candy store for a kid because it was just incredible. It was the first time I'd been surrounded with published authors, met a lot of the authors that I myself had read, and just met like minded people. And I ran into a woman there and we kind of hit it off. And so I literally ran into her as she was coming out of an interview. Pat Simmons, she writes Christian fiction now. And so I was walking by as she came out and she went, Lisa. And I went, what? And she said, you want to write a book with me? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, great, come on.
Oh,
Pulls me
you busy
along
right now?
behind her. Huh?
Yeah. Like, you busy right now? You want to write a
Yeah,
book? Let's go.
exactly. So she pulled me along behind her and she was like, hey, I just pitched a story idea to a publisher and they liked the story idea, but they wanted it to be an anthology. So I needed two more authors and you're one of them. And so then we had to find a veteran author that was already established because we were two newbies. We hadn't, really published anything. And so we did. Pat found Perry Ebony Satin Brown. And she talked to her about writing an anthology with two no names. So she knew Pat from having an interview with Pat when she was when she was a radio talk show host. And so each of us had to come up with a story. The theme throughout the anthology was a blind date. So each of us had to write a short story about a blind date. Perry chose a couple that meets through internet dating. Pat chose a couple that met through a radio show host, and a guy calls in and they end up exchanging letters. And then my story was basically about a blind date that was set up, but the wrong guy shows up. And so that's how I
Oh,
got published with the traditional publisher Kensington. So yeah, that anthology was called Love is Blind, and that kind of just started a domino effect. And from then on, I've been writing ever since.
so you started off with a bang. So you've been writing spicy and dangerously romantic for a long time. It's like, oh yeah,
Well, it fluctuates. I mean, I used to write spicy. Now I'm a little old school now. So now my stories are more clean reads now, but the danger is always there. I mean, I love danger, love excitement. I love a happy ending. So those are elements that you will always find pretty much in every book that I write. It's always going to have romance, always going to have a happy ending, always characters that are brought together by love, respect, sense of humor, and you're always going to be able to just have a positive, good read. No male bashing, because one guy was like, "Can guys read it? Or are you just beating up on men?" No, no male bashing here. It's just honest to goodness characters, and they just are a hoot to write. I love my characters. I love the dialogue between the characters. And so that's what you're going to get when you pick up a Lisa Dodson novel.
yeah. Bash the men. Okay,
No
I don't
bashing
like
men.
I don't like them. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like them. So you can bash them all you want to. I love this. I'm telling you, this is amazing. So, how did you link up with the superhero group that is called the Tribe Called Success Group and that super lady that everybody keep talking to me about?
Well, actually, I met Nelena Kai um, at a RT Book Lovers convention. Pat Simmons and I ended up doing publicity for that convention. And so that was a convention like no other. It had like 2,000 readers would come, 500 plus authors. It was like 5 days of well organized chaos, and it was amazing. And so we met Lisa there, and we connected, and we ended up needing an additional person to help do publicity for the RT Book Lovers Convention. And so that's kind of how a collaboration with Lisa started. And then from there, she just blossomed, and she has always had a head for promotion and marketing. And so this was her brainchild to kind of create a tribe, so to speak, of fellow authors, and all just bring us together to be able to have a group of people that we're all about the grind, all about getting the job done and doing the thing. And so that's kind of how she got started doing that. And you know me, I'm just along for the ride. So we've known each other for years, and anytime she needs me, I am there no matter what. So, and same thing is for her. So I was definitely thrilled to be a part of the tribe. And there's some hardworking, amazing authors with some wonderful, unique stories. Everyone has their own voice, and it's just an awesome thing to be a part of.
I love that. I love it. Oh, okay. Because she's amazing. Because when I tell her she amazing, she be like, "Whatever, now let's be quiet and go sit in the corner." I'll be like, "Yes, ma'am," and I'll be quiet and go sit in the corner. But when y'all say it, she be like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I love y'all." Okay, so
Well,
she
she's
got
humble. She's absolutely humble. She puts everyone ahead of herself, and so we have to remind her. You need to take some time for you. Give yourself those flowers, and just bask in those accolades and stuff, because she, like I said, she is a powerhouse. She's a brilliant writer. She's a just business savvy. She knows her stuff. She's just amazing. I don't think there's anything that I have heard of that Nelena Kai cannot do.
That's right. Me neither. Okay, me neither. A second that emotion. Okay, a second that right there. Okay. Now you write in a genre that's noted as multicultural and interracial. Like
Mhm.
how how fun is that? Is it controversial? Is it like how do you navigate those waters? Because it's different. And
Well,
what got you interested?
I don't like being pigeonholed. So,
Mm,
um, I write the characters that come to me. And so, um, they might not always be black. They might not always be from the US. I like traveling. And so travel tends to weave itself into my stories. I like amazing locales. So I mean, I've got books where we're in London and we're in Jamaica and we're anywhere. I think to limit yourself is a mistake because your books can be as rich and vast as your imagination, and your imagination is limitless. So, yeah, I do have different cultures in my book. I'd love to have more. And it's just a matter of, what I feel like writing next, what the story that comes to my mind, what it calls for. And so, I mean, I grew up reading historical romances, contemporary. So I already read different cultures and interracial characters, multicultural characters. So it really wasn't a big stretch for me to find myself penning a book that happened to have multiple cultures in it, different types of people doing different types of things from different backgrounds.
I love that. I love it. 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 Travel is everything. For your mind to be able to travel. You don't need a passport. You don't need no inoculations. You can just
Right.
go. You can just go out there and go and experience and give those characters life that are coming to you. They're like, hello, hello, hello,
Right.
Lisa, please, we love you. Talk to us.
And one thing I've found in writing is that a lot of times truth is stranger than fiction. And I mean, there's just some stuff you cannot make up and you would not believe it, but things happen that are true. And so that's to me, that's just fun. That's exciting. It's a great thing to be able to put pen to paper and be able to just weave a story that not just that you like, but that, other people seek you out and go, hey, I really enjoyed that story, or I found myself not wanting to go to sleep because I was trying to figure out who done it and, try to figure out the end before I got there. And I'm yelling at the characters and all of this stuff. And, as a author, there is no greater accolade than someone actually really enjoying your book. To me, that is what makes it all worthwhile. That is what makes the hours and hours and hours I pour into each novel rich and gratifying. That's what makes the sleepless nights when you're sitting there trying to do edits and whatnot and finish. It makes it all worthwhile.
I love it. What was the feeling like for you when you were done with your first book? You know, and then if you was to fast forward through, because you got about 50,000 books, right? So
I
fast
heard.
forwarding
I
through
do.
through these book spaces, you said you let each one go from one to the next, and whatever story needs to be told. How adaptable have you become in your writing style to allow that to take place?
Well, from the first book I wrote the end on until the one I just wrote the end on, that never gets old for me. It's always exciting. I'm never bored writing. It is literally something I would do no matter what I was doing. If I got paid for it, yay, great. If I didn't, guess what? Lisa would still be writing. That's a passion, that's a God given gift. And so it's up to me whether or not I use that gift. But even if I didn't, I still have that gift. And so um, it's just something that I really do enjoy doing. And I what makes it most fun is that, you know, I'm always open to learning. One thing you cannot do as an author, and I mean, they say it and it's literally true. It's not just people giving lip service. You have to develop a really thick skin because you have to be able to take criticism. You have to be able to take direction from editors. You have to be able to understand that it's your editor's job to help you create the best product that you can create. And ultimately, that is what is memorable to readers. You don't want to just write something where you're like, well, I thought it was great. Well, yay, you may have thought it was great, but does the reader think it's great? And that is what helps your book stay out there. That is what people will continue to pick up your books for when they see your name, is because you are giving the best possible product that you can. And that takes practice, that takes study, that takes, you know, long hours. And so when I say, you know, you have to develop a thick skin, because not everybody's going to like your book. Okay. Uh, not everybody will. People will rip it to shreds. They'll give you horrible reviews. Just because they can, sometimes it seems like, because there's that, you know, that cover of anonymity that people put out there. So there's no limit on the amount of cruelness that people can throw into something, and not really thinking, hey, you know what, there's somebody on the other side of that, you know? And so as an author, you know, you see it all. You get the accolades, but you also getting people going, I hated that book. That's the worst book I ever read in my whole entire life. Really? So, I mean, that's a double-edged sword. That is what you signed up for when you put your name on a book and put it out there, scrutiny. And so that is something that I tell aspiring authors all of the time. You know, it's your baby, but you cannot be so, you have to be flexible, because if an editor goes, you know, I really like that, but I didn't like this, and there's this whole chapter, we don't even need that chapter. Well, guess what? Lisa's gonna listen to that, and if it makes sense, Lisa's gonna throw out that whole chapter I wrote. And yeah, it's not the best feeling in the world, but I keep my eye on the prize, which is this making this story the best story it can be? Because that is the only thing that matters. My ego doesn't matter. How long it took me to write that awesome, dynamic, crazy good chapter that just got thrown on the floor, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, what matters is the book is solid, the book makes sense, people enjoy it.
I love that. I love that. My skin just got thicker, okay? Listening to that, I was like, gross skin. And the skin was like, all right.
And it's not easy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna sit here and say, sometimes when, you know, and they say, you know, we really don't need that, or ooh, I don't like the name of that character, or I don't like the name of that book, or yeah, I don't know about that. I don't take a moment and go, but then, you know, I get back to work.
Look at you in the parking lot. See how you like this right hook. So you got some events coming up. You don't just got this event coming up. You got another event coming up. Okay, so I want to get in your business, in the event business space. So August 4th to the 6th, you know, tell us what's going on and how you're playing a part in this magnanimous, magnificent, historical, monumental event.
Well, nktribecallsuccess.com, that's the website. And Elena Kai's Tribe Called Success. We are giving away 200, not 199, not 220, 200 free ebooks in all genres from all sorts of different authors. And so we're providing this free from August 4th to August 6th. So if you like to read, now's the time to stock up, overload that Kindle, and get some free ebooks. It's just a great, wonderful thing that Nelena came up with, and we hope it's just a huge success. We've all been promoting this, and we just hope people take advantage of it, because who doesn't like free books?
Who doesn't like free books? Okay. The free books. They don't like it. They're like, why you giving me out for free? But you also have another event coming up as well, right?
Well, I don't have another event coming up until September. I'm going to be in Virginia for the Martinsville Henry is for Book Lovers event in Spencer, Virginia, for the September 15th and 16th. I'll be doing a book signing there. And then in October, I'm going to be at the Christian Book Lovers Retreat in Charlotte. Yes, Charlotte, North Carolina. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina, so I have to keep remembering. Charlotte, North Carolina is the last weekend in October, and that is also a wonderful event that's close to my heart. You have all sorts of wonderful activities going on for readers, for authors, and it's, who doesn't love just a nice time to just connect with readers, get your praise on, and just have a good time. Yes, yes. So looking forward.
Okay. So no Houston. Houston is out.
No, I'm not going to Houston. I was in Houston. When was it? For Book Lovers Con. I got back. I think, was that in June? I think that was in June. So that was an amazing time. I mean, I just never tire hanging out with authors and readers. It's just it's like a vacation for me. It's so much fun because this is not my day job. So anytime I get a chance to, talk about books, promote my books, buy books, talk to other authors and stuff, it is wonderful.
So 3 best experiences with an author and 3 best experiences with a reader.
Okay, 3 best experiences with an author. One is writing anthologies. I love writing anthologies with different authors. That is a lot of fun. It's a really great time to collaborate, which I really enjoy. I love going to book lovers events, and this is also going to segue into the readers. I love going to book lovers events and being wacky and zany with other authors, especially when we have to do like events and stuff at the convention where we play fun games and stuff and give away things to readers and stuff. I really like that. And then also I just like hanging out and just being able to brainstorm sometimes when I'm stuck on something, and likewise, for them as well. I have, really close author friends that I can call up and go, this isn't working and I don't know why. And then they'll listen to it and go, oh, okay, we'll try this. Or my all-time funny thing is author friend of mine, Pat, when she calls me and she's like, hey, is this funny? And she'll like read whatever it is. And I go, no, it's not. Or I do the same thing. I'm like, hey, how does this sound? Is this funny? And she goes, no, it's not. I'm like, but it's funny to me. And she goes, well, you're not the one buying your book, so back you go, back to the drawing board. And so I love times like that. I like being able to just talk to aspiring authors and readers about what their favorite books are. They're not always mine, and that's okay. But I just love talking to them about books. I love the excitement that they have when they are meeting some of their best authors that they love and they're getting their books signed. That is so much fun just to be there and witness that. I've fangirled a couple of my authors that I've looked up to and read for years, and to be able to meet them in person. Yeah, I'm an author and I've been at this for a couple of years and I still get like all googly if I meet an author that I really do enjoy reading. That is so much fun. And just being able to just talk to readers about what especially aspiring authors, about, some of the things that they like, some of the things that they're scared about, how do they get started? It's really important to me to pay it forward and to be able to answer questions wherever I can, because that's what people did for me. Some of the veteran authors, when I first met them, they were a bevy of information. And so, why not do that for someone else if I can? And it's like, if I don't know the answer, I can probably get the answer. And so I always believe in just being gracious and being able to provide someone with that information, because it's a big swimming pool. There's enough room for everybody. And so, because sometimes you hear of people that kind of keep stuff close to the cuff, and they don't really want to impart any knowledge or information. And that's not me at all. That is not in my personality. It's like, as we can see, I can talk all night. So it's like, if I can help you in any way, that's my God-given talent. That's what I do.
I love it. I'm curious. I'm a little nosy. Okay, so I want to know one or two people that you can share with us that you had a fangirl awesome moment about. I'm curious.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. There was a author, like, I grew up reading historicals, like Regency, England, Scotland type of historicals from the powerhouses: Joanna Lindsay, Barbara Cartland, Julie Garwood. And so one of those times, Julie Garwood was actually at the RT Book Lovers Convention. She was signing her book at the convention. And it was right as we were doing the big author book signing. And so I literally, we were all already sitting down, but when I remembered that she was there, I had to go get her novel autographed for myself, and I still have it. I was just googly because it's just like, oh my God, I read you, you know. And another moment that was so funny is, well, this is my daughter fangirling. I'm going to tell her business, but my daughter fangirling because, you know, I saw my book in Walmart one time, and I was overly joyed. It was a surprise. I didn't know it was going to be there. And then all of a sudden I see my book. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in Walmart. My daughter's like, yeah, whatever. Okay. And so I was at the book convention, and they had the whole section of young adult authors. And I remember her going, okay, I want this book. I want that book. Who else is there? So I'm seconds before I got to sit down and book sign, I'm walking the aisles telling her who's where and what authors are here and what book she already has. And then I tell her, well, Kiera Cass is here. And she goes, Kiera Cass, oh my gosh, what books does she have? I love her. And I'm like, okay, well, she has this, and this. And then she goes, so I'm talking to her on the phone, and Kiera looks up at me because I'm on my cell phone telling her what books she has. And she goes, who are you talking to? And I said, I'm talking to my daughter, Alyssa. She goes, give me the phone. And so she gets on the phone and she's like, hi, Alyssa, it's Kiera Cass. And all I hear is, I'm like, yeah. So when mom's book is in Walmart, she's like, meh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, that was so funny to me. It was such a fun time. And that is one of the moments where I'm like, I'm pretty happy I'm an author. That was pretty cool.
I love that. I love it. I was on here, right, where I'm sitting, and where you were sitting, where you're sitting right there, right here. I forgot the cameras. On here was Zane.
Oh, okay.
So Zane was sitting there where you're sitting, and I'm like, oh, because I was excited. I was like, yeah, I'm interviewing Zane, and then it hit me.
Yeah, you're interviewing Zane. You're like,
yeah, she's here. She's here, and I'm like, yeah. I was like, oh, this was amazing because I missed the chance to talked to Eric Jerome Dickey before he passed.
Oh
I
wow.
was going to Texas. He was having the book signing and it didn't work out for me to go. And I was like, I'll catch him next time. And then there's no next time. So
I know.
I always wanted to ask him because I'm a huge Robin Harris fan. Rest in peace to him as well.
Mm-hmm.
If the comedian that was the funny man in his books was that Robin Harris or
Oh,
inspired by Robin Harris, because he had his humor and the comedian guy in the book passed away in the same way that he passed away, and
oh,
consequently,
yeah.
Ronnie Mack would pass away in the same kind of way. So I always wanted to ask him about that
That would
because
have been a good question. That would have been a really good question.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
out in California, so it would make sense, where the stories were and how the stories were affected. So I wasn't much of a fiction book reader
Mm-hmm.
until adulthood, and I was in Texas, and I went to a bookstore, and there was a book club, and they were reading, fiction books. I was like,
Yeah.
fiction books, right? So, my Baba looked at me, with a smile because he always corrected me with a smile, and he said, "Son, they're reading. If you want them to read something else, suggest it."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "All right, Pop." So I went, and I
Wow.
was like, "How can I introduce them into my world with where they are?" Because they were reading everything. They were reading, Zane, Eric Jerome Dickey, Elin
Mm-hmm.
Harris, you know, all of those, great minds. So I was like, let me give them Sam Greenlee's book, The Spook Who Sat by the Door. So they read The Spook Who Sat by the Door, and everybody was like, "Oh my goodness." But if I didn't, you know, give that a chance, I would have missed out on the opportunity to connect
Right.
with some great minds based off of where they were. And I went into the rabbit hole of the fiction world. So I read Sister Soldier's book, The Coldest Winter Ever, and then I read everything that she wrote. And then I just started reading different things from Donald Goines and from what's my man name? Iceberg Slim,
Mm-hmm.
and some of those books, and then it opened up a wormhole of the world of fiction versus nonfiction. Because I was there for historical and political and psychological and all of these, you know, aspects. But
Mm-hmm.
nothing beats a good story, and in my realm now of digital storytelling and documentation, it serves as a necessary and vital component that
Right.
connects every aspect of my life. So every life that I lived in the physical world, they're all separate lives, but what brings them together is the ability to tell a story, to hear a story, and to share a story. So it's just
Right. That's
multiple
powerful.
that
Yeah.
common thread. I mean, you wrote 50,000 books, so I know you got that in there
Yeah.
some way.
You know,
I love that.
50,000, working on 50,001. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That's right. So, which book are you giving us next?
I am giving away one of my favorite books. It's called A Fiancé for Christmas. So that is a really good, just a feel good story. And yeah, that's one I'm giving away. And I maybe giving another one away. So I'm not quite sure yet, but definitely will be giving that one away. And that's book one in a series, the Tidings of Christmas series.
All right, I want to go to your website. Okay, so the world can see this magnanimous space up here. Okay, so let's go to the home page because this is just fly. I just felt warm. I just instantly got warm. Okay,
Oh,
so
thank
warm
you.
and inviting. Okay, this is beautiful.
Thank you. I
This
need
is
to update for
beautiful.
thing.
What is that? Velvet? Okay, you know what you said? It
What
comes to
is
me.
a
Okay, this is
velvet?
velvet.
I love that saying. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes, this
It
is
is one of my
amazing.
favorites.
Amazing. Okay. Interview with Danger. Okay, Danger.
Yeah, I got to
Okay.
update those book covers too. That was a pre-divorce. We're now post-divorce.
Hey, hey.
And
That's
that's
another.
actually out now. So that tells you, yeah, Miss
Mm.
Thing needs to go update her website.
Hey, you saving the world and writing 50,000 books.
Yeah,
Okay,
you know,
you got
50,000.
you got some you got some leeway. You got some leeway.
Why, thank you. Thank you, Knowledge.
Okay. So, fiance for Christmas. Do they come with a bow, like under the tree or under the
Well,
mistletoe, or how does it go?
there's a bow on the book cover, but that's about the
Yeah.
extent of the bows. There may be a
Okay.
bow in the book.
Okay.
She's a woman that works in the Christmas industry and doesn't like Christmas.
Hey,
So, yeah.
Shaniqua Scrooge out here walking around like Bob. I'm Bob.
So, I got to turn that around because, I love Christmas.
Right.
Christmas in July, anytime. Can't wait.
Anytime. Right. Yes. 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 So let's go to the shop. We need all of the books. Okay. Look at the books out here. Booking. Okay. Books out here booking. 6 Days to Live sounds like a fly, fast-paced,
It is.
action-packed movie in the book.
I
Okay,
know.
like
I
I
know.
want
It
to
is.
see it. I'm looking at it. I'm like, where they going? Why they running? Like, hey, I want. What happened? Who got 6 days to live? I'm perplexed. I got questions. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, she's
Oh
like, I
man,
got
where they
questions.
at? Let's go. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was like one of the fastest paced written books I've ever written, and it was a labor of love because there was a lot of research that went into that. Yeah, she has 6 days to reverse engineer a antidote to a biotoxin that her ex fiance was injected with, and if she doesn't, he's dead.
Ex fiance,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
she tearing the club up for.
yeah.
Dang, what you won't do? Okay, do for love or not love. Okay.
Yeah, you just gotta, you never know what's going to, show up on your doorstep in the middle of the night one night with 5 days to live. So yeah, she's got, they got some baggage they got to unpack while she's trying to find an antidote. So yeah, there's a lot of tension there. There's a lot of conversation that needs to be had. So yeah.
Oh, he acting like a fool with 5 days to live. Oh man, oh, Lord. Uh, send a card at the funeral. Okay, be like, fam, I don't care nothing about you, and I might get this thing messing around with you. Get away from me. All right, run away from me. Okay, show the scene where he's running away from my house. Okay, look.
Yeah, she's she can't let him die though. She's a scientist, and she just can't go, oh well, I don't know what to tell you. She's got to help. That's what she does. Marina is just strong, capable, kick butt kind of woman.
Okay, she kicked his butt out of the way. Okay,
Well,
X, Y, Z.
she did want to punch him in his jaw, but that was some old
Hey,
stuff. She had to get past that. Had to get past that.
you lucky I'm saved, boy. Come on.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
A fiance for Christmas sounds like a warm, heartfelt, earth shattering,
It is.
tear jerking space. Like, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's
yeah.
fun. I mean, I love Christmas. I love all things Christmas. And so writing the Christmas novels is like one of my favorite things to do, just because I love getting caught up in all of that. And I love a feel good story. What am I going to tell you? I'm a romantic at heart. So I do
I get it.
love me a happy ending. And I love when, characters kind of have to do put in a little work to get to that happily ever after.
Okay. As long as it ain't a lifetime Christmas, because, the lifetime films be a little rough. I'm like, okay,
No,
a
mine is more like
lifetime Christmas. You're like, oh shit, okay.
mine's more like a Hallmark Christmas, you know.
I have to say, like, okay, is that a
No
crack pipe?
Lifetime Christmas. Somebody go down a Lifetime Christmas movie.
You're like, open your gift. What is it? A crack
You
pipe?
know,
You're like, oh no, like what? An eviction
somebody's gonna
notice,
be
like
left
what?
out on a cold,
Right.
snowy road in the middle of nowhere in a Lifetime Christmas movie.
Oh, a Christmas heart sounds like a miracle. You know, it's just like
Yeah,
some
Heart for
miracle happened.
Christmas. It's a second
Heart,
chance at love. Second chance at love.
hey, two hearts for Christmas. Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay,
Yep.
yes. Now this, what is it? Her heart's desire. Okay, that don't sound clean. Okay, it sounds a little spicy, like a little bit of cayenne pepper.
The Kamani books have a little cayenne, because
Okay,
that's pretty much what the line dictated. But yeah, the other ones are pretty much, cayenne free. But a heart, yeah, like Her Heart's Desire, Love by Design.
hey,
Yeah, those are little cayenne,
I like
just a
a
little.
little bit of cayenne.
My
Okay, I
gauges,
like
I
it.
have to make sure that if my mother reads any of my books, that
Oh,
she's not going to be, whew, shoot, child.
go get
She's
that.
not
Go
going to be
get that
clutching
switch off the
pearls.
tree.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
You ain't that grown, Miss Lisa. Okay, let me tell you
Never
something.
that grown. Never that grown. So yeah, I had to make sure, I kept a little of the spice in the drawer.
Okay. King of Hyde Park.
Oh, that is one of my favorites. That's actually he's part of the Kings of the Castle series. And so those are books again, Nelena Kai's brainchild, where we all kind of wrote a story about one of the kings of the castle. And my book, King of Hyde Park, is about Alejandro Reyes. He is a fixer. And so he lives in Hyde Park in Chicago. And so his story is another romantic suspense by Lisa. A little danger, a little intrigue. But yeah, I loved it. And so, yeah, he's from San Miguel de Allende in Mexico. So, yeah, I had some fun writing him.
Okay. I've been intrigued since I seen this interview with Danger. Okay.
Danger isn't always in plain sight.
Mm,
So that story is about Sasha Lambert. She decides she's going to write a book, and mysterious things start happening after that book is published. And so people are trying to figure out, well, she's trying to figure out who has kind of got it in for her. And she ends up pissing off her twin sister's brother-in-law because he thinks he's in the pages of her novel. He's not really, but he thinks he is. So he ends up showing up on her doorstep in London, really ready to have a conversation. And the next thing you know, he's having to protect the one person he was ready to kill. So yeah, you'll have to read that one and see what
mm,
happens. But that was a fun
spicy.
one too.
Okay. Well,
Hey,
I'm seeing these as movies. I'm loving all of these movies that you wrote.
I
Okay.
know they all look like they're made for movies.
There are movies. They're book movies, movie books. It's okay. I love it. I love it. I'm telling you. This is phenomenal. Okay.
Thank you.
Phenomenal. And this has been phenomenal. Okay.
Thank you so much.
50,000 books and counting. Working on book 50,000. One.
And one. Yes.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me.
Powerful. So, final thoughts, and as you give your final thoughts or acknowledgments, and where people can find you, and what they can look forward to, and where they can see you at in person, and fan girl and fan boy and fan people all over you, and all of that stuff.
Well,
Uh,
you can find me on all social media. On Facebook, author Lisa Dodson. On Twitter, Instagram, Lisa Y Dodson, all one word. You can check out my website, lisadodsonbooks.com. and I'll have my events on there where I'm going to be next, and I'm always a DM away. So, yep, all sorts of ways to get a hold of me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You have an amazing evening and continue to write. Okay.
Thanks, Knowledge. I sure will. Thanks a lot for having me. I appreciate it. You have a good night too.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Sunshine Monet, with the affirmations to enjoy your day with Sunshine Monet. You are listening to Chakra Music. I came through with intentions of destruction. You said you wanted freedom, well it's me then that you wanted. I moved in gratitude as my soul was being summoned. The consciousness has returned, Christ is really coming. I make these flows for the souls that drift in indigo. I make some goals for they glow since they was embryos. Access the records, they lectures, keep your principles. Enemies infect you, don't let them reach your pinnacles. Reversing curses that's embedded in religions. They wound up in your soul, that's why you feel tension. I'm remixing declensions before Sumerians existed. It's something in the water, don't get caught, you'll get acidic. I bury enemies, pay pinnacles to the witness. You say my name in threes, I appear in your vision. Write Iliads in me, I'm the witcher in your system. Silly as can be, there's no opposite in infinite. I'm the goddess of crossroads, touching all directions. With the skull and crossbones that call to the vexes. I applaud the protectors, I'm the god of inflection. They see the demon in me and still pause the respecters. I need no translation, vibrating from universe. My throat mansplaining while my yoni do the work. Mask off, crowns on, bombshell on all the arts. Mask off, crowns on, bombshell on all the arcs. Mask off, crowns on, bombshell on all the arcs. Mask off, crowns on, bombshell on all the arcs.
Enoch 7 prophet, move like the full winds do. My energy is useful, my thoughts are old school. So I move with a Bob Slim. Say I'm sexy, haircut like Anita Baker, real lovely. Caught up in the rapture, it's kinda risque. Kisses and faces on public is real frisky. Touche.
You are listening to Chakra Music.
Mask off.
Yeah. Now we gonna tell them. Night in front. We tell them like this, yo. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a African. Yeah, y'all like that? So no more. This man's mind is open. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a. Let's get
And
back
that
to
motive
the
is best developed by recognizing the common enemy.